Hello and welcome to a special edition of Africa Today. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and Cyprus Foreign Minister Konstantinos Kombos have said they agreed on the need to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. They were speaking at a joint press conference following their talks in Cairo on Tuesday. Shoukry said they also agreed on rejecting the forced displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. In his remarks, Shoukry stressed the strength of strategic ties between Cairo and Cyprus in various fields. He also said both sides coordinate over regional and international issues of mutual concern. The Cypriot foreign minister also said they also signed a memorandum of understanding regarding the Egyptian labor in Cyprus. He said the two sides have discussed cooperation in the field of energy. Their talks discussed the war in Gaza and means of reaching a ceasefire and containing the humanitarian crises in Gaza Strip. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement that the two sides discussed extensive deliberations within the framework of strategic partnership between the two countries. The third African Medical Conference exhibition, Africa Health ExCon, kicked off as South Korea. Africa leaders pledge deeper ties, critical mineral development. Russia's foreign minister again visits Africa, this time in Geneva, as some ties cool with the West.
Egypt hosted on Monday the third African Medical Conference exhibition, Africa Health ExCon, under the theme Your Gateway to Innovation and Trade. Organized by the Egyptian Authority for Unified Procurement, Medical Supply and Technology Management (UPA), the Africa Health ExCon 2024 conference and exhibition aimed to boost trade exchange among various African countries, which is a crucial part of the African Union's 2063 agenda. By fostering localization of medical industries, this conference and exhibition aims to address the challenges plaguing the African continent, ultimately strengthening the medical economy and promoting sustainable development in the long run. Organizers said Africa Health ExCon 2024 offers a prime opportunity for healthcare and pharmaceutical companies to explore investment prospects in Africa, thus catalyzing industry growth. Adel Al-Awadi, former Minister of Health and Population and President of the Egyptian Medical Association, emphasized the importance of this year's edition. He said, quote, "We are proud to announce over 350 scientific sessions covering 32 specializations, with the participation of over 1,200 Egyptian speakers, 150 international speakers, and 300 foreign delegates." These numbers, he said, reflected the commitment to providing high-quality scientific content that enhances medical knowledge in Egypt and across Africa. Organizers say the conference attracted over 368 exhibitors from various countries worldwide, along with more than 60,000 visitors from over 100 countries. The event brought together representatives from the medical and health sectors on one platform, providing an exceptional opportunity to explore the latest products and services across various medical fields.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol said on Tuesday that the country will speed up negotiations to promote economic partnership and trade and investment with African countries. Hosting a summit with the leaders of 48 African countries, Yoon said South Korea will increase development aid for Africa to $10 billion over the next 6 years, while stepping up cooperation for a stable supply of core minerals. More in the following report.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and the leaders of African countries agreed on Tuesday to forge deeper trade and business cooperation and launched a critical minerals dialogue aimed at sustainable development of the continent's resources. Hosting a first-ever summit with the leaders of 48 African nations, Yoon said South Korea would increase development aid for Africa to $10 billion over the next 6 years as it looks to tap the continent's rich mineral resources and potential as a vast export market. Yoon said in his closing remarks, the critical minerals dialogue launched by South Korea and Africa will set an example for a stable supply chain through mutually beneficial cooperation and contribute to sustainable development of mineral resources around the world. He also pledged to offer $14 billion in export financing to promote trade and investment for South Korean companies in Africa. South Korea is one of the world's largest energy buyers and is home to leading semiconductor producers. It is also home to the world's fifth largest automaker. Partnering with Africa, which has 30% of the world's reserve of critical minerals including chrome, cobalt and manganese, is crucial. In a joint declaration issued by South Korea, the African Union, AU, and its member nations, the leaders pledged to speed up talks for economic partnership agreements and trade and investment promotion frameworks. They also called for advancing cooperation for Africa's food security with South Korea's support with agricultural technology and smart farming. African leaders welcomed South Korea's Tech for Africa initiative aimed at supporting the education and training of Africa's young population. AU Chair and Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, at a joint news conference with Yoon, said African countries were looking to learn from Korea's experience in developing human resources, industrialization and digital transformation.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was in Geneva on Monday on the first leg of the African tour aimed at bolstering Moscow's influence in the world's poorest continent. Russia, which has seen relations with the West plummet after sending troops into Ukraine in 2022, has sought to boost its influence in Africa in recent years. More in the following report.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov arrived Monday in Guinea on his latest visit to West Africa, where coups and growing discontent with traditional allies like France and the US have contributed to some countries' shift toward Moscow. Lavrov has visited the African continent several times in the past couple of years as Russia seeks support, or at least neutrality, from many of its 54 countries amid Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Lavrov met with Guinea's Foreign Minister Marisanda Koyat, according to Russia's Foreign Ministry. Guinea's government in a statement said the meeting was to discuss areas of mutual cooperation without elaborating. Lavrov's tour included a visit to the Republic of Congo late on Monday evening, where he met President Denis Sassou Nguesso in the city of Oyo, according to an official communique from Brazzaville. It wasn't clear which other countries were on his itinerary later this week.
Well, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry and Cyprus Foreign Minister Konstantinos Kambos said they agreed on the need to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. They were speaking at a joint press conference after the talks in Cairo. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Mostafa Tamaam, Professor of Political Science. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Well, Dr. Tamaam, how do you see the timing of the visit by the Cyprus Foreign Minister and holding talks with Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry in Cairo?
Well, certainly this visit it's a very important event that takes place in serious timing. That you see the area, the Middle East area, is in turbulence actually due to the fight, the war between Gaza and the Israelis, and unfortunately, world efforts on both sides didn't succeed until now in order to reach a solution to stop this war, and Egypt is playing a very important role now. With other countries in order to get an agreement between the two parties, because this is very, very important for the whole Middle East as a whole.
Yes. So, Dr. Tamaam, of course, the situation in Gaza Strip and the need to reach a ceasefire in Gaza Strip was high on the agenda of the talks today. So, what is the kind of pressure that the two sides can practice in this regard?
Well, certainly the first step will be certain to exchange the prisoners that are at each side. The second one certainly will be a ceasefire and an agreement in order to reach permanent peace, that such an event will not occur again. This is very, very important.
Yes. So, Dr. Tamaam, also both have witnessed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the two countries, and especially for the Egyptian labor in Cyprus. How did you follow this?
Well, this is very important because the relations, the economic relations between Cyprus and Egypt are quite long, there have been a long time since these relations have been taking place, and it's not only in the manpower, the manpower area, but in other areas also. There's cooperation in the tourism area. A lot of tourists from Cyprus visit Egypt. On the other side also, Egypt is trying to encourage Cyprus foreign investors to come and invest here in Egypt.
Yes. Dr. Tamaam, both high diplomats have also discussed the field of energy. So how do you weigh the importance of cooperation in this specific field?
This is a very important point, certainly, because the issue of energy is considered a vital role not only for Egypt and Cyprus, but for the whole Middle East area. And certainly, any negative political effects, any negative, like the war we have between Gaza and Israel now, have a negative effect on the energy, certainly. And there be certain cooperation between not only the Egypt and Cyprus, but the Mediterranean countries which surround Egypt. Certainly there be an agreement in order that the energy will be a priority in their discussions.
Yes. So, Dr. Tamaam, the Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics, CAPMAS, have reported that the value of Egyptian exports to Cyprus have increased to around $70.5 million during the first 9 months of the year 2023, compared to $58.6 million during the same period in the year 2022. How do you read these numbers?
Well, certainly this is due to the successful economic policies that the state has adopted, and certainly giving facilities also to exporters in order, not only for Cyprus, but for other countries, in order to export their product. The support of the government certainly is vital, and probably we will see an increase in the exports during the coming years, you see. So this is very important, and the state gives a lot of emphasis and importance to this issue.
Yes, yes. Dr. Tamaam, how would you describe the ties between Egypt and Cyprus?
Well, certainly the ties are very old, you see, and as I told you, they're all in a lot of the relations take place in a lot of aspects. Certainly, as you mentioned just now, the energy issue was one of these areas that Egypt and Cyprus cooperate. On the other side, tourism, certainly, it's very important. And certainly, Cyprus has, there's a demand for a lot of Egyptian products at Cyprus. So certainly, these factors are quite important in the relation.
Yes.
Now, for both countries.
Yes. Dr. Tamaam, in your point of view, what do you think are the main common challenges that are facing the two countries, both sides?
Well, certainly the stability of the Middle East. This is very, very important. And also the stability of the world economic situation now, because certainly we have, it's not only in Gaza and Israel, we have the Ukrainian war, certainly, which has an effect on a lot of European countries. And certainly these are very, very, and not only, they affect also Egypt negatively. So certainly these are the major issues probably that face both countries.
Yes. Well, also, since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, actually the relations between Egypt, Cyprus and Greece witnessed several times tripartite talks. So how did you see the importance of this? And also signing of agreements and memorandum of understandings.
Certainly, this was a very important point, and certainly the President gives a lot of importance for Cyprus, and this was evidenced by the visits, the numerous visits, not only by officials but by a lot of governmental MPs which from both countries which came to Egypt and went to Cyprus. This certainly strengthens the relation and probably eliminates a lot of obstacles by these discussions that might encounter the relation.
Yes. Also, the importance of the cultural exchange and cooperation between Egypt and Cyprus, how do you follow it?
Certainly, this is very, very important, and I think with the new government probably, which will be formed very soon, this will be a major objective, not only between Egypt and Cyprus, but between Egypt and a lot of other countries, European and Middle Eastern countries.
Yes. Concerning, Dr. Tamaam, concerning the field of trade, also investment between Egypt and Cyprus, what would you say on this point?
Well, certainly Egypt encourages investments from not only from Cyprus, but for a lot of countries, you see. And I'll give you an example, which is a success story. We have the free zone in the Suez Canal, where we have a lot of projects that have been erected now. And certainly this will be a step in order to encourage other investors from not only Cyprus, but worldwide to come and invest here in Egypt.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Mostafa Tamaam, Professor of Political Science. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.